In this video, I'm going to tell you about how I completed my clinical rotations out of state. So first and foremost, you've got to get permission from your school. This is for a nurse practitioner online program. So you have to get permission from your school. That is primary. And then second, you have to have a compact license, a compact RN license. And I believe there are 41 compact states. So wherever you received your compact license, you can practice in another compact state without having to apply for another nursing license. So those two things are primary. Housing. I was very fortunate to have friends and family that allowed me to stay with them, which saved me tons of money. I didn't have to worry about Airbnb or hotel or any kind of other forms of housing, which was a huge benefit. One of my classmates allowed me to stay in her home, which I will be forever grateful for that. You will need transportation. So I was able to have a rental car, which will be huge unless one of your family or friends can allow you to use their car. And or you can look into public transportation, or if you're close enough, even just getting an Uber to your hospital location or wherever your clinical rotations will be. I was very fortunate to have some help with all of this. So money for food, you will need to set aside money for food, of course. I didn't want to be a burden on my friends and family. However, one of them would not allow me to buy anything as far as food was concerned. So that was a huge benefit, and I will also be forever grateful to them. And so I was able to complete 125 hours in 3 weeks on my last rotation, which was a lot of back-to-back 12-hour shifts. I was able to complete 125 hours in 4 weeks in the ICU and 125 in the emergency room. That will require a lot of, like I said, back-to-back 12-hour shifts if you need to get it done in a short amount of time, which I did need to. I needed to get back to my home. The prior month before leaving, I worked a lot of hours to cushion my stay, financially, because I wouldn't be working during that time unless you have PTO or you have a husband or a wife that can support you while you're gone. I needed to work a lot of hours to help cushion that stay for me out of work for 3 to 4 weeks. So you will this is just you don't need to do anything. I'm just giving you what I did. So before I left my house, I unplugged everything. Every single thing I unplugged, and I turned the air conditioner up to like 82 or 83 because I didn't want it constantly running when I wasn't here, because I live in a very hot state. So I didn't want my bills to be going through the roof and I'm not even in the home. I did purchase an I did purchase a round trip airline ticket. And but if you're close enough to wherever you're going, maybe you can drive there, or maybe you can get a train there. But for me, I did need to purchase round trip tickets, which was a cost. This I did not think of. I wish I would have thought of it. I did not hold my mail. My mail was accumulating in my mailbox. Thank goodness we have pretty big mailboxes, but it was accumulating and I was getting things that were important. And so I had to ask someone to, pick up my things from my mailbox and mail it to me, things that needed a response. So I would suggest, unless you have someone that can also pick up your mail, is just to have the post office hold your mail until you return. When I was at the clinical site, what I did was my preceptor, I would ask, can I have certain cases that would align with my homework? Because I only had a short amount of time. I didn't have, the class is 8 weeks, but I didn't have 8 weeks to get my clinicals done. I had 3 weeks for one, 4 weeks for the other. So I had to hit the ground running. I asked the preceptor, can I have these certain cases that would align with the homework that we had in class? so that I could get more out of it. Hopefully that made sense. Don't be shy or nervous. You know, you're in a new state, you're in a new location, a new environment, new people. I was initially shy and nervous, but then I had to get out of that because I was there to handle business and get in and out. My last rotation, and I would take advantage of really whatever comes your way. I was in the ICU and the emergency room, and I was very fortunate to learn a lot of trauma. I saw a lot of GSWs, which is gunshot wound victims, and I learned a lot from that. And the hospital that I was doing my rotations, they worked hard to keep people alive, and it was just a great experience. I will never forget my experience there. They were a great group of healthcare workers, for real. They could save my life any day. Let's see. So as far as traveling back and forth, it was pretty difficult. I was in 3 different time zones within 3 months. I was in 3 different time zones. That was hard. That was really, really hard. When I did finally return just a few days ago, I had serious jet lag, vacation lag. Actually, it wasn't vacation. It was horrible. My body was out of it. My sleep was off. So anyway, that is how I survived my out-of-state clinical experience. Hopefully this was useful for you, and take care until the next video.